In this video lesson we will study how to store history information and how to represent it. You can store information in general history database, but it's not useful for big projects because history information is too big. So we create history database and rename it to HistoryDB and rename database name to event history database and table name to speed history. We will store our history information that we set up for text. In our case, we will store history information for speed of our motors. We add it into history database, this text, and this history information will be stored periodically with period 10 seconds. If we don't want to store in general database, so we have to uncheck store in DB property. Now let's create new screen for history trend information. And now we have to create some buttons to have possibility to navigate through our screens. For this we use new screens and upload them from our disk. We use screen trend and use screen home or main. And let's bind home main, and let's place over this screen button to have possibility to navigate by calling on this button. Let's choose invisible color like we did in previous lessons, and let's choose call screen function to call our main menu. Let's group this object and rename to main template, main button to be exactly, and place it on our toolbar or navigation bar as you want. And let's copy this group of buttons and screen, and let's rename it to trend button and change screen to trend, picture to trend, and let's change screen to trend. And now we have to group all this header in one big group of group object. Let's select all objects of this group. We didn't select the background. By using Ctrl keyboard we choose this object also, and let's name this template like header. But our background is on the front and we didn't see the objects behind it, so we have to move it inside the group. You can do it in object window by drag and drop it of the group. And now we can copy our header to the other screen. Let's check how it works, and you can see it works. And now let's create trend on our screen. Use HistoryDB collections and use HistoryDB trend and place it over on our screen. Let's stretch it and make some grid settings. For example, we want to change vertically and horizontally lines and change time format to demonstrate hours and minutes instead of minutes and seconds. Let's try to change vertically to 1. It's not what we want, but let's change vertically to 5 and horizontally to 1. It looks better. And let's add curves, but we didn't find it because we didn't choose HistoryDB. So we choose HistoryDB, and now our text is appeared. And let's add curves that we bind to text of HistoryDB. And now let's check it's working. Let's collect some values. To do this, we use our simulation of text values, and let's change its values by increasing to 1 every second. Okay, it works, and now we can check history GB trend information. Let's choose date time, and it's appeared, but it's only all black colors. Let's change it to other color. For example, M01 to red, M02 to blue, and M03 to green. And now it looks better. Let's simulate some other values. Yes, it works. Okay, let's make some improvements. For example, we don't want to choose date time by using dialog box, and we want to have some periods of times by clicking on button. Let's create some tag period and place it in our group trends screen text. And let's choose selector object to use it for selecting our time period for our trend. And let's fill collection. For example, if value will 0, the time period will be 0. 1, if 3, 3, 2, 2, 3 hours period, for 6, 6 hours period, and for 12, 12 hours period. Let's change back, and for 1 day 24 value, and place this object over our trend. We want, by clicking on this group object, select the time period of we want to see trends. To do this, we have to create some script. It will be screen type screen and execution on data change. When we change period text value, the period of trends will be changed. And first we have to use our object history begin and end, but we have to change history name because it's not possible to use objects with white spaces name in the name. So we changed and choose begin property. First we have to choose end property. End is end time of our trend. 0 means it's equal current time. Begin, and our text period multiply the number of minutes, 60 minutes. So it will be time from the current time minus text period multiply 60 minutes, and update our trends. So we get value, but we didn't because we have to add our script to our screen, bind to our screen. And let's check. It works. You can see our time period is changed depending on button we click of our control object. Now let's add one more improvement. For example, we want to add and remove curves on our trend. Let's create motor number tag to choose tag we want to add. Let's choose combo box for this purpose, and let's fill our collection. For example, if the motor number is 1 is M01 motor, if 2 M02 motor, and if the value is 3, it's M03 motor. Let's place it and let's check. Okay, it's work. And now we want to choose color of our curves that we added to our trend. To do this, we have to create new tags: curve red, curve green, and curve blue. They'll be used in our widget object color picker. So we place it near the combo box and bind depending on the color our text: green color and blue color. And now let's add buttons to add and remove curves. Let's choose common button and let's align them to be on the same width and the same Y position. And this button will add curve. And duplicate this button and use remove. We'll adding and removing by using scripts. Choose object type script and execution on click. So it will be executed when we click on the button. It's possible to use other objects, not only buttons. They also use click execution. So let's write script for removing. Let's string curve name depending of our motor number text name, and let's use our user manual on our site to write correctly our function. So we have to name of our trend from which we remove curve and our curve name. Let's execute. Let's bind to our remove button this and let's check. Yes, it's removed. We choose M02 motor and it's removed. And let's create add curve. Make it the same way, so click type and let's change only function to add curve. Add curve is more complicated function, so we have to add trend name and curve name like we did it in remove curve function, and also we have to add tag names. It's depending of curve name or motor name and tip speed. Next value is width of our line, and next three arguments of our functions is colors that we bind to our tag values. Let's add it. And the last argument is curves type. So we choose one. Let's check. Let's try to add. Choose color, add, but it doesn't work. We forget it's bind to our button, this script. Let's bind and let's execute again. Yes, but it's not type we want, curve type, so we have to change to 0 type. And before we remove this curve name if it's already existed. And now let's check. Remove curve M02 and M03, and let's add all curves we want. M01, M02 with color orange, and M03 with color green. Yes, it works. We can change. That's all. The last thing we have to do is to organize our scripts. Let's create group of script rent and place all scripts. Let's create group motor properties and place all scripts for motor properties in this group, and the make group for screen pop-up to place all pop-up screens to this group. That's all. Thank you for watching.